I had a great discussion with Michael Cohen about Donald Trump's delay tactics. No one knows those delay tactics like Michael Cohen, and Michael Cohen has given us the blueprint and has given the world the blueprint and has given prosecutors the blueprint of how it is that you respond to Donald Trump's delay tactics in the various cases. Recall, Donald Trump sued Michael Cohen for $500 million in the Southern District of Florida. Michael Cohen was undeterred as Donald Trump's lawyers tried to get every break and delay to avoid Donald Trump being deposed. And ultimately, after Donald Trump continued to delay, finally Donald Trump had to confront the fact that Michael Cohen demanded Donald Trump's deposition, and Cohen was not going to back down. So what did Donald Trump do right before the day of his deposition? He dismissed the case against Michael Cohen, a case that Donald Trump filed against Michael Cohen for $500 million. Donald Trump dismissed it because Trump was afraid of having his deposition taken by Michael Cohen and Michael Cohen's lawyer. So I want to share with you this conversation I had with Michael Cohen, where Michael Cohen basically says, look, Trump may delay this for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, but the chickens are going to come home to roost here, and Donald Trump is the chicken who's going to be under a lot of heat here in 2024. So without further ado, let me show you this great chat. And then Michael Cohen also, I show Michael Cohen some of these recent clips from Donald Trump, and Cohen's reaction to these clips is just chef's kiss. Here, play the video.
You know, the problem that you have when it comes to these delay tactics is they don't work, right? Eventually, and again, you take somebody like Jack Smith, you take somebody like Michael Cohen with the help of Danya Perry and my other attorney there, Ben Brodsky in Florida. Think about what was going on here. The guy who's suing me in the Southern District of Miami for $500 million. You, my brigaders, all know what I'm referring to. So he sues me for $500 million, and we turn around and we automatically file the request for his deposition, right? Because discovery is obviously needed in order to lay my defense. Well, he's okay, shoulders up, chest out, big fucking belly out too, the whole 9 yards, diapers on, and I'm ready to rock and roll. So now he goes ahead and, you know, he plays tough guy. Yeah, wait till we get him. Of course I'm going to be deposed and so on. And then they delay it. Okay, we give it its proper time, 3, 4, 5 days as the court required. Then you go ahead, you file your papers. And then, of course, they file, opposition papers that he can't. He has X, Y, and Z going on. And the judge says, you know what, I'll grant you this one time off. But here's the date that you're going to be deposed, come hell or high water. And then what happens? He drops the case. Donald will be a tough guy up until the point that the shit is on his doorstep. And right now with Jack Smith, he knows exactly how to play this game. He knows he's been playing this game a whole lot longer and a whole lot better than Haba, than Chris Kise, than Cliff Robert, or any of the other D-team lawyers that Donald currently has working on this. So they'll play their initial games, and yeah, they'll get away with the delay. Ben, you could get away with that delay. So could any of the brigaders. Anybody who would go ahead and file that motion would get, exactly the same thing that Donald is getting. No special attention there. What will ultimately happen is Jack Smith will do, as a good lawyer will, he will push the case and he will push the issue further and further until ultimately there's a decision. Will it be a month? Probably more. Will it be 2 months? Yeah, more than that too, I'm sure. 3 months, 4 months? Yeah, that sounds right. And the next thing, what happens? Now Trump is in panic mode. He's in total panic mode. We see that time and time again. You see, in Donald's mind, when you have an issue that's scheduled for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months from now, for him, that's eternity. Why? Because he has so many issues right now, tomorrow, the day after, next week, next month, that take precedent because it's happening much sooner. He's not even thinking about what's 4, 5, 6 months down the road. He's thinking what's coming on Monday and next Thursday and next Friday. That's what he's thinking about.
You know, he's been born with the golden spoon in his mouth his whole life. He's been able to use his resources to just delay everything and then declare bankruptcies, screw over people. And you think about the kind of decision matrix, although I don't even want to use a big vocabulary when referring to anything Donald Trump does, but we'll call it a decision matrix to how he goes about litigation, which kind of follows a pattern of like denial and attack, and then delay, and then attack, somebody else, blame somebody else. Inevitably, when a bad outcome happens for Trump, then he tries to shift the blame to somebody else and then have his followers get angry at someone, right? But you think about that same framework is kind of how he does everything in life, not just kind of litigation. You apply that same decision-making matrix to something like COVID, for example, or something like,
immigration,
the moves that anything it is. And it's basically deny the situation, delay it, act like nothing is happening. And then when whatever it is happens, blame somebody for it. Blame the judge, blame Dr. Fauci, blame some expert. And if you addressed it responsibly from the outset and confronted the situation, that's what leadership is about, like actually dealing with it. I know that's difficult to do, but dealing with it. And now that Donald Trump has come face to face with the judiciary and a team of lawyers and prosecutors across the country who have studied and know his tactics and push back against it, he's losing his mind even more than ever. I don't know if you saw this, Cohen. This is him in Waterloo, Iowa. And we put together some of the things that he's just been saying. And let's play the clip, and then I want to get your reaction to it. Let's play it.
The only reason I corrected is I'll say, he didn't know his name. He didn't know his name. He must be cognitive, Don't forget, I do most of this stuff without teleprompters. They do. Biden. Drill. It's crazy what's going on. They're ruining our country. And it's true. They're destroying the blood of our country. That's what they're doing. They're destroying our country. They don't like it when I said that. And I never read Mein Kampf. They said, oh, Hitler said that in a much different way. No, they're coming from all over the world, people all over the world. We have no idea. They could be healthy. They could be very unhealthy. They could bring in disease that's going to catch on in our country, but they do bring in crime. But they have them coming from all over the world. And I heard somebody today say, one of these genius analysts, the stock market's good, the rich get richer, but the stock market's good because they think Trump is going to win the election. And I believe that's true. And whatever good they have right now is the fumes of what we left them. It's coming off the fumes of what we've left them. But the stock market is good because a lot of people think we're going to win the election. So that's an interesting fact. I felt that, but I didn't want to say it. But I think we will say it. Well, the stock market is making rich people richer, Ben, and I mean, it's crazy what's going on. Rich people are getting richer. Of course, I'm a politician now, so we just keep chugging along, right? But you're going to have a crash the likes of which you haven't seen because of what they're doing. It's going to be scary.
Could you imagine, Michael Cohen, if let me get your reaction to it then.
I mean, if you're not doing the same thing that I'm shaking yet. So it's amazing when the stock market wasn't doing well, he's out there saying it's because of Joe Biden. It's because of Bidenomics. Everything is falling apart. When I was the president, the stock market was going like this to the moon. It was straight up. It was like an arrow straight up. I mean, those are his words. And okay, things corrected as a result of Bidenomics. And now the stock market is at an all-time high, right? By the way, oil drilling in the United States, that's another all-time high too. Unemployment, that's the opposite. That's an all-time low. I mean, it's amazing. He takes credit where credit is not, of course, due. He says things that are completely made up. Right. The stock market is right now on fire because people think that Donald Trump is going to be the president. Talk about a narcissistic sociopath, a complete mental breakdown of a human being sitting. The fact that you could even think, yes, and by the way, Donald, here's something else I want you to use in your next stupid rally that looks more like a Klan meeting than anything else. Ready for this one, Donald? The sun rose today because you awoke. And because you're ready for sleepy, right? You put on your Depends, you put your diapers over it, right? You put your pajamas onto it. You got your little pacifier in the mouth. And because you, Donald, are ready to go Betty by, the moon and the sun set and the moon came out. It's all thanks to you, right? The sun rises, right? The sun sets, the moon rises, the moon sets to the same extent that you rise and you set each and every day. So on behalf of everyone in the world, we all want to thank you. And this is only happening because you, right, are leading the GOP nomination.
At MeidasTouch, we are unapologetically pro-democracy, and we demand justice and accountability. That's why we're spreading our message to Convict 45. That's right, gear up right now with your Convict 45 tees and pins at store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.